guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have live swatches of the Zoya Matte Velvet collection. This came out in the winter of last year. If you watched my favorite mainstream polishes video, I had Sue in there as one of my favorites. But for the longest time, this is the only polish from this collection that I actually owned. However, I have a best friend named Sabrina who happened to see them on sale in a different state. I went to my store, my Ulta, and they weren't on sale there. So she sent them to me. She grabbed them for me and sent them to me. Unfortunately, this happened in transit. She'd sent me all 6 of them. One of them broke. Fortunately, it was the one that I already had. It was Sue. Sue broke. So all of my bottles are a little bit dirty. I tried to clean them off as best as I could. But some of them still have a little bit of Sue in the cracks and crevices. These are available on Zoya's website. You can find them at pretty much any Ulta and anywhere that you can find Zoya. And we can go ahead and get into the swatches. The first polish is called Aspen, and this is the shimmery white polish in this collection. So here's our first coat of Aspen. First coat of this does go on a little bit patchy, a little bit streaky, but it does have a really nice, really easy to work with formula. I didn't have any issues with pooling in my cuticles or down the sides of my nails. So there's one coat. Here's our second coat of Aspen. This doesn't cover completely in 2 coats, but it is building up nicely. This also dries super fast. By the time I paint my 4th nail, my first nail is already dry. Here's our third coat of Aspen. And this covers completely in 3 coats. This does dry down to a matte finish, as does the rest of the collection. So there's 3 coats. The next polish is called Sue, and this is the off-white, almost nudie gold shimmery polish in the collection. Here's our first coat of Sue. Sue is the most sheer polish on the first coat, but it does have a pretty even coverage. I wouldn't call this one streaky, just sheer. Again, a really great, really easy to work with formula. So here's our second coat of Sue. Again, this doesn't cover completely in 2 coats yet, but it is building up nicely. So there's 2 coats. And here's our third coat of Sue. And this one does cover completely in 3 coats. Again, a super fast dry time on this one. And it does dry down to that matte velvet finish that this whole collection does. But this one really shines with the top coat. The next polish is called Ava, and this is the shimmery red polish. So here's our first coat of Ava. And this has a great coverage on the first coat. Really even, really opaque, but it will need a second coat. This also has a really nice, really easy to work with formula. So there's one coat. Here's our second coat of Ava. I do feel like this one dried slower than the rest of them. I'm not too sure why, but this does cover completely in 2 coats, and it will dry down to that matte velvet finish as per the rest of the collection. So there's 2 coats. The next polish is called Honor, and this is the deep green hunter color, and it is shimmery. I wanted to throw in here real quick that Honor did stain my nails just a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a whole lot. I took whitening toothpaste and scrubbed that out, if you were curious. So here's our first coat of Honor. Again, this one, like the last one, has really, really great coverage, really easy to work with formula.
beautiful, beautiful color. This one does dry faster than Ava did though. So here's one coat, and here is our second coat of honor. And this covers completely in 2 coats for me. This is another one that I feel benefits from a top coat. I'd rather wear this one glossy than in its matte finish. So there's 2 coats.
The next polish is called Yves, and this is the dark blue shimmery polish in this collection.
So here is our first coat. This one does have a thinner formula, I feel, than the rest of them, so you do have to be careful about it running down the sides of your nails or pooling. But it does have really, really good coverage on the first coat. If you're not super picky about nail lines, you could get away with 1. So here's our second coat. And for me, this becomes completely opaque in 2 coats. This is one of the ones of the formula that I do feel like looks best with the matte finish. So there's 2 coats.
And the last polish is called Iris, and this is the shimmery purple in the collection.
And here's our first coat. This one is a little bit sheer for being a darker color. I was a little bit surprised, but it has a really nice formula. It's easy to work with. It's not thin like the last polish. So here's one coat, and here is our second coat. And this one is completely opaque in 2 coats for me. I also feel like this one has less sparkle than the rest of them in the collection. And I would say this one is versatile enough to either glossy or matte. So there's 2 coats.
So of the 6 polishes, Ava was actually my favorite. It was Honor until I took it off the next day and my hands were blue. Ava otherwise. That is it. I'll link down below my Instagram page where I'll have more live swatches and photo swatches of this collection if you're curious. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more live swatches from me. Otherwise, I will talk to you again soon. Bye.